Hello, 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 actually. Welcome everyone back to my armchair travel adventures as we
Mm.
continue to explore the Netherlands. Personally, I've always been fascinated with how people live well. And there are so many customs and traditions in other countries that we can learn from and learn to maybe incorporate some of those into our daily lives. And speaking about this, I have the great honor and pleasure to welcome Doreen here from the Netherlands. Hello, Doreen.
Thank you for having me, Tammy. Nice to be here.
I really appreciate you so much. And, we're learning this week about how some of the traditions of the Netherlands. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's Dutch, a mutual friend, Sandy. And she mentioned one of the few first things that she said to me was Dutch kids eat white bread, butter, and chocolate sprinkles for breakfast. And to me, that sounds like happiness to me. So I was curious about that. So Doreen, can you tell us a little bit, is that really true?
Yeah, it is true. It is true. But it's not only that. So our kids, from Matilda, my wife, and our kids, they can get it, but first they have to eat a brown bread with cheese. So they have something healthy, and then the bonus comes with the white bread and the chocolate sprinkles. So it has to be a bonus, but I know it's very liked thing in Holland. And you made a remark about it makes children happy. So I did some research. Thank you for getting me to do some research about my own country. That's great also. What makes people happy is proved. They did some research for that. Is the Dutch eat breakfast together almost every time, almost everywhere, and they have dinner together almost every time, almost everywhere. So that's a little piece of a little moment, small moment for a community and for being together. So at our breakfast table, no chocolate, but I have one. I have two muesli, one with yogurt and one with quark, cheese, cream cheese thing. I don't know. And I have one eating grapefruit, and I have one eating bread. So that's how we put all shit on the table, and then it's going to happen. It goes like that.
Okay. You know what? You've brought back some memories for me because as a child, I remember doing that. I'm from Antigua, and I remember eating breakfast together at the table. And yes, especially Sunday dinners. As we got older, then we all went into our separate places. But you're right. It was a happy moment for us to share the day and to laugh a little bit and share stories. And it's so
Yeah, it's
important.
like the check-in of the day and the briefing, and then in the evening it's like checking out. So what did you do today, and what's going to happen tomorrow? Like we try, anyways, to stay at the table more than about half an hour,
Okay.
because children, if they are ready, they want to go. But we yeah, like to keep it a little bit in a small conversation. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? You've already made me happy.
Well, that's easy then. If you visit us, you'll be welcome. You can see. Yeah.
Yes, please. I've been
Yeah,
taking
you're welcome.
invitations all over.
Yeah, I know. You have to travel now. This doesn't go by an armchair anymore, I think.
Exactly, as soon as. And so, can you tell me another season? Like, I was reading about Santa Claus, which is a little different. I actually, there was a blog I was reading, and the lady said that she didn't realize it, how different the Dutch traditions were during the Christmas season. And so I
Yeah.
was curious about that. Could you talk a little bit about Santa
Yeah,
Claus?
yeah. I will talk about it because you asked me. It's a hot item at the moment. So Santa Claus is Sinterklaas.
Santa Claus?
We call it Sinterklaas. And it's actually happening on December 5. And then Sinterklaas leaves the country. Nobody knows how, but he's gone. But 3 weeks earlier, he arrives by steamboat from Spain. That's the story. And on the boat, there's all the presents and all the gifts and all the candies and everything you can would like to have when you were a kid. And on the boat are also zwarte pieten, and it's called black peats. And
Mm.
this is the hot item. This is an old tradition, and it's not accepted anymore because a lot of black people feel offended by this because the black peat, zwarte piet, used to be a little bit stupid, dummy, simple, good-hearted, but not too smart, and is a servant of Sinterklaas, the big white man with the big white beard and the red cap. I don't know how you call mijter, we say, like bishops have. So as we speak, the last 3-4 years, it's very hot item. There's a lot to do about it. There's been fights over, like conservatives who think stay away from our tradition. This is our tradition. It's not meant to offend anybody, so leave it. But it has been to the United Nations, and it's brought very far. And now we see that the Zwarte Piet is going to disappear. We see white people with some black, I don't know,
Face
like
paint.
like when they bring the presents, they go to the chimney.
Mm-hmm.
So they will have root.
Suit. Suit.
Yeah, yeah. They will have this on their face, or they don't have anything on their face. They're just white, or they have colored faces. So you will not see any really black Pete's with red lips anymore, which is, of course, offending. I can understand that very well. And
Mhm.
the songs belonging to that are also changing. So we are in transition to another tradition, and I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with it.
You know what? I thought about that earlier today for another topic. When you know better, you do better,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And you evolve,
Right?
and I appreciate that, and I celebrate that. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Sorry, go.
no, no, please.
Yeah, I really, I really have difficulty with people who want to keep everything as it was. This
Mm,
is not how the world works. Blacks matter, whites matter. Doesn't that there shouldn't be, we know both, there shouldn't be any difference, but we have to do a lot to make it real. And this is just a small step, but I think it's very important to tell it here and to say that we are not very proud of this old tradition anymore. It needs to change.
no.
Nah, not for you. Also for me. Also for me. Yeah, we are brothers and sisters. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And so is besides that part of the tradition, as a child growing up, what was it like to celebrate that early in the holidays? And because I believe you get your Christmas presents and so forth from the Santa Claus, and
Yeah.
Christmas, its day itself isn't about gifts. Is it about more togetherness? Is that what the tradition?
Yeah, it's holy. It's more holy. So it's more the birth of Jesus. So we go to church and do things like that. It's not the present day. Although also that's changing. A lot of people leave Sinterklaas behind, seeing this as a celebration for small kids. Like when you are about 8, you cannot believe this story anymore. You cannot believe that somebody comes from Spain with a boat and all the presents and drop it exactly as you wished on your floor or mat, on your doormat. So at 8, children don't believe anymore, and some families change to go and do presents like you do it, Christmas time, Boxing Day. Um, Others change the celebration of Sinterklaas and make surprises. So they wrap their gifts up in something beautiful, something creative, and make a poem with it, go with it, which should be funny to tease the other. So that's a more creative party
Yes, I
celebration.
read that. How
Yeah, yeah,
fabulous.
yeah.
And I
So
think
that's
the
what we
poem,
are going to do now with our kids also. Next year of this year, we are going to make the surprises. So what can you make? You get a, I don't know how you say this in English. We are four, and we have two daddies, so we have to have six lotteries,
Okay.
ballots.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
lotteries. And then we make sure everybody has somebody else, and that's the one you make the gift for, and you make it special with a whatever you want. It may be big, it may be small, it may be inside out, so whatever.
Yes. I
Um,
think we call that here Secret Santa. You have
okay,
was
secret set, right? I
something like
understand
that.
that. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, yeah,
I can put my name in that little box there. No.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. And are there like certain foods that you would have traditionally at this time?
Sorry, the first question. Are you?
Food, the types of foods that you would eat at this time? Is there special
Yeah. No,
just
we have.
treats that you could only have at Christmas time?
Yeah.
For
Well,
me, it's
now. Yeah, nowadays you can get everything in the world everywhere, I think. But yeah, we have chocolate letters. So your name is one big chocolate D, for me a D, for you a T, in
yeah.
chocolate in a box. We call
Oh,
it chocolate letter. And you
okay.
can get it in all flavors and all kinds, and with nuts, without, and whatever decoration there is. Chocolate letter is very. So the presents come with all kinds of candy. The chocolate letter comes. There comes some kind of a marzipan. You know this?
Marzipan, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, marzipan in all kinds of forms and
Ah.
whatever you can imagine arrives. And pepernoten. This you might not know. That's a kind of small. Looks like an animal dropping. It's brown. It's a cookie. And it has
Oh,
a very typical taste. It's like pepernoot. It's a bit. Paper stands for chili, so it's not
chili.
hot, but
Oh,
it's a little flavored,
okay.
and that's what I would like very much. Things like that.
You know what? Talking about different flavors. So
Mm.
again, I was talking to Sandy,
Hmm.
and another thing that she mentioned was salty licorice candy.
Yeah.
And I thought, salty licorice candy. Okay. So of course, one of the days for my adventure, I actually tried to make my own licorice candy.
Did you?
I did.
Mm.
Apparently, it didn't quite look the same as your candy,
Hmm.
but it was Kim enjoyed it. I didn't. I actually love that little saltiness
Hmm.
on the sweet. I'm like, oh, this is so good. I've been telling everybody about it.
So if you give me your address, I will send you a package. You must imagine that you see maybe the shelf behind me and the wall
Yes.
there. Um, I could fill the whole wall up with from every kind of licorice, like a small roll. And then
Mm,
there's so much uh, forms and sorts. So there's very, very different tastes. It's with sweet, it's with salt, it's very salt, it's very sweet, it's hard, it's soft.
yes.
It's with sugar. It's like you cannot imagine. There's so much. You go to the supermarket and there's, I don't know how many shelves with licorice.
I can't believe it. And
Yeah, it's true.
I had to learn it. I was so curious about it. And I was sharing this week that I read two articles, and one said because of the close relationship to the Dutch to the sea, that you preferred salty flavors. That was one article.
Mm.
And another article said that at the time when sugar was expensive and rare, honey with the licorice gum became a pleasing flavor. And over time, it just became an acquired taste and it just developed from there.
I
And
don't know. Nice to know. Thanks.
yes,
I
there was
didn't
no
know that.
consensus, but I thought that
Mm.
that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Do you enjoy salty licorice yourself?
Yeah, I do. Everybody, yeah, I think. And I don't know anybody who doesn't, but everybody has then, yeah, I like it, but I like, and then comes the special flavor because there's so
Okay.
many kinds and so many flavors. Everybody can have an own flavor. Yeah.
Okay.
You
Sorry, you're
also
gonna.
have chewing gum in licorice. You can,
Oh.
yeah, everything. So but talking about the sea,
Ooh,
um, is it okay if I
of
change the
course,
topic for you? Yeah,
please.
yeah. I think we have indeed a big relationship to the sea. And part of our country, like I think about 35-40% is below sea level.
Yes.
Like well, so we know how to fight the sea and how to protect ourselves to the sea, and this is where we are famous for in the world as well. Like the Hurricane Katrina in 2005, New Orleans hit. So they called after that they called the Dutch in to build the dikes there and to make the place secured against waves and hurricane, but against sea. So the Americans did a lot of work, but the counting, how high would be the waves, how much water would go in, where would it go in, and so on. That's Dutch expertise. That's what we sell all over the world. That's really, and I think in the Olympic sports, we are good at sports that have to do with water. We are great sailors, rowers, swimmers, skaters, of course. So surfers. So we are the water people.
And
This boat that got stuck in the Suez Channel a few weeks ago, it got loose because of the Dutch getting the mud under the boat away and yeah, I don't know, pulled the boat out, the ship out. So that's what
yes.
we do. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that bit of knowledge. And no, I was not aware of that. I did see that video clip you sent me, and it talked about the relationship with the Dutch with the sea. And I love every single one that you showed. It was very fascinating. And it's interesting because yesterday, my focus was on Dutch genius. Like there are some concepts that have been contributed by the Dutch over the years that I didn't even realize. And one of them that comes to mind was like the stock market. I didn't know that the Dutch created
Yeah.
the stock market.
Yeah.
And it ties in so nicely to what you just said about you being the Dutch being, very good with boating and map making, and to trade with the Far East, you developed the Dutch Trading Company, which is essentially the first stock market.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. That's so. It has a nice connotation, but also a very unpleasant twist on it. We were great, great travelers and great. How do you call it? Traders.
Traders, yeah.
But also, of course, we were slave traders as well to establish our kingdom and our wealth. So we also, yeah, I'm maybe a bit, well, this is also Dutch. What I do now is, yes, I can brag about what's good, but in the same time, I will go to the other side of the middle and say, hey, but somebody paid the price. So we have
That
to
is
look in each other into the eye and say, hey, that's what happened as well. And this is, I'm so glad that this is now coming into the conscious, total conscious of the Dutch. Hey, there are so many nationalities now living in this small country. We are at 17 million. We have 17 parties in the government right now. We have 150 seats in parliament, and there are 17 different parties on these seats. So we are a very divided and multiracial country, but we are not ready. We are not. We are upcoming in really going to address that well and give everybody same chances. So I'm on the good side here, but a lot of us are not. And that's part of our history. We have to get recognition for and cope with. Deal with.
That's true. But there are other countries like that too, where, for example, Germany would have something similar where, they have a part of their history that they're not proud of, but at the same time, you acknowledge it, and
Yeah.
you offer your acknowledgement, and then you say, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
How do we make small changes? How do we give more people the voice and visibility and to progress and move forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going on. Yeah.
Well, now let's talk about movements. The idea of movement. Now, I was in Amsterdam just a couple of years ago. There were a sea of bicycles everywhere.
Yeah.
and the bicycle lanes were as big as some of our roads.
Right.
Can you talk
They
a
have,
little?
yeah. They have, if they're real bicycle lanes, they have a different color. They are like kind of red, stone red,
Yes, yes,
and that means that this is your place. Here you go.
yes,
We have a lot of e-bikes now in Holland, so there are far more bikes than you have seen. There are also transport bikes where you transport your kids in or your goods or whatever. Like the big cities, Amsterdam is a good example. We lived there for many years. Nobody living in the city would even think of using a car. You wouldn't get nowhere. It's too crowded and it's too small. So
yes,
everybody takes a bike to do the shopping, to bring the kids from A to Z. It doesn't matter, you take the bike. And this is also what we learn kids. We learn kids to bike. Like when they are about 2-3 years, they start their first bike.
okay,
Could be a bike with, on the rare, two side wheels, but most of the time it would be two wheels and they walk it. It's a walking bike. So they learn how to balance. And when they are 3-4 year old, they start with their own bike, really cycling. And when they are 9, they go to school by their own, by themselves, 8, 9, like our kids, they go. Well, when they went to primary school at 5 and 6, they would cycle with us to school. So that's very common. And we also cycle when it rains and when it snows and when it's hot weather, we take the bike. Yeah, it's true.
yes.
That's really how we do it. Yeah.
No,
And
it's your article, your clip that you sent me talked about that too, the weather.
yeah,
It was so funny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We have a lot of words for bad weather, but that's when our gardens are green. Not because of because of the sunshine, but because of the weather. It rains a lot, and
I don't think
I'm
I
happy
knew
for
that.
that. Huh?
So I didn't realize it rained as much as the article said.
Yeah. Well, it was a little bit funny, of course, but all the words used there for rain, shit weather, and poop weather, and whatever they say, yeah, that's all true. But like somebody I know from Finland said, there's no such thing as bad weather. You have bad clothing, and that's what we
Oh,
think also. That's what we think also. We have a lot of things downstairs here that go by the bike. Also, all kinds of weather clothing and rain clothing and whatever. So
okay.
yeah, we bike and we like it. So this afternoon we are going to friends. They live 15 k's from here, and we take the bike.
15 kilometers
Yeah,
and you'll bike there.
yeah, we bike there.
Yeah.
That's
See,
that's no, that's not an issue.
that's amazing. So it you have a very healthy society. That's what I felt. I felt very looking at the society there when I was in Amsterdam and there was a lot of parks that we passed, a lot of bike lanes, a lot of people cycling. It was a really I felt very whole and very it felt like a very healthy, clean, what I mean, society when I was there.
I hope mostly so, but both of us will know that people who live in the suburbs and in poverty, really, we don't have like some poverty level like they have in the States. But yeah, there are people who are not so well off, and we know we call this a social economic status. When the social economic status is low, they don't live so healthy. They smoke more, they eat more. There's more diabetes. All these things, like in other countries, are also with us, but I think it's less, but it's there. Yeah,
Is there?
yeah,
Do you have good, I read that you do have good healthcare and social support.
yeah. We
Um,
have
do,
we
do
have the
you?
best. Yeah, we have the best. We have the best in Europe, and I think we have the best in the world. It's free. So whoever you are, wherever you go, if you need healthcare, it's free. It's not thinkable that you would go with a broken arm or COVID or whatever you have and you wouldn't be treated. That's not going to happen. Even if you are illegal here, even if you have no insurance, papers or whatsoever, somebody will be there. You present yourself in a hospital. Anybody would help you, would take care of you.
That's commendable.
Yeah.
That is
Also for your teeth. We have a lot of people illegally come here and they are imprisoned, waiting what their status will be, and they will get a health check and they will get some things done to their teeth and their mouth, so that they can eat. Not that they have the best and beautiful smile there is, but so that they can eat and their body will be functioning. Yes, we take care of that.
is there
Also, school. Also, school.
also
Everybody
school?
has a right to learn, and everybody has a is obliged to go to school. You cannot stay at home. You have to go. You could be checked if you don't go. Yeah.
And that is for, that would be even for
From 5 till I
illegal,
think till 16. I'm not sure of that, but you have to go.
you have to go to
You
school.
start at 4, but from 5 you are I don't know you call it. You have duty. You are obliged by law to go, and I think 16 or 17. I'm not sure. Maybe 18. I'm not sure. Anyways, then you can stop. Yeah.
Would refugees children also have the same rights? Just curious. Or no?
It depends on their status, but if they are here and if they are in a facility where they wait for their status or to be sent back, they will receive schooling. Yes.
They will receive
Yeah.
schooling.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is that is good to know.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to change focus here a little bit to some of the, it's one of the pictures that you see in the Netherlands is the tulip fields, and you see all the windmills with the backdrop of the water. It is so picturesque, so lovely, especially in the countryside. And is there a favorite time of year that you prefer in the Netherlands, and why?
For me,
Mhm.
oh, I'm not sure for me. Like maybe I traveled for a year in Asia and then I missed the seasons. So we
Okay.
have 4 seasons. We do have the spring, the summer, the autumn, and the winter. So, like you're conditioned to be ready for the next season because when it's winter, you like that the days are shorter and you can go inside. You like that, you hope that you can go skating. Christmas must be and December must be the month for family gatherings. So, it's nice that it's dark outside and cold and almost in Holland, it's then windy, raining, and not nice. But so you have to stay inside. That might be so. But in springtime, like now, yeah, I love maybe like you too. You live in Canada. That the green bursts out and the blossom is everywhere. And then we love the summer, so we can go to the sea and swim, or can stay outside and go camping. And then the autumn with the beautiful colors. I don't know. I think we are used to getting the seasons, and yeah, some people feel more comfortable by this or more by that. I'm not sure what my favorite season is.
No?
No,
Okay. And
no.
what about the area? Like, do you have a favorite area of the Netherlands? Like, are you more of the city? Do you prefer closer to the water? Do you prefer the countryside?
Thanks for asking. I love. We have the Netherlands, and in the Netherlands we have 2 provinces, and one is called North Holland,
No.
and one is called South Holland.
Okay.
And I love North Holland. It's a coastal province, and it has Amsterdam in it. And also on the west we have the sea, and on the east we have a big lake. It has polders, so some the oldest polders from the Netherlands. It's the Beemster polder and the Purmer polder and the Wormer polder. I know you cannot repeat this, but it means this is made dry land. So that's old farmland, and it looks beautiful, and it's nice to be there. And it has woods. So we don't have many woods like in Canada, but we have some air, we have some woods, and also there. So it's very how do you call afwisselend. The province has everything in it. So
Yeah.
you can bike from the seaside west to the east side to the lake IJsselmeer in in a half a day. It's not big, but it has everything in it, and it has Amsterdam, which I like, and where I don't live anymore. But
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so North Holland, that's someplace to keep in mind. And I didn't know, so would that still be, there's a garden, um, Koekenhof?
Keukenhof,
Koekenhof Garden, is that right?
Keukenhof, yeah. No,
Is
that's
that,
in the south of Holland, but like
is that so?
same kind. And this is the show off of all the flowers we have and everything we can do with the flowers. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I really have never been there.
Okay.
It's where tourists go.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I think so. But you know, sometimes you live very close to something and you've never been there. So I lived for years in Amsterdam. I've never been to the Anne Frank house. And now my daughter is asking, so finally I will go. But I don't know how it is for you. But sometimes you're so close that you forget to go.
Doreen, that is the story of my life. I'm an island girl. I'm born and raised by the sea, and I could probably count the amount of times we went to the beach.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So one of the things that that I was reading about was the work-life balance in the Netherlands. And coming from Canada, sometimes here we tend to work long hours, we work a lot. How does the Dutch find that, or how do you think in general you find that work-life balance?
I think most people have contracts for 32 to 40 hours a day, a week work.
Okay.
So 4 to 5 days. A lot of them have less. Mostly men work more than women, but mostly both parents work. But they will be at home when the children are at home in the evening. So I think there, but of course, I know and my partner know, we all know that we sometimes make very long weeks because we work in the evening as well when the kids are not there or asleep or whatever.
Right.
But I think we have a good work-life balance, and we are highly productive. I thought I wrote it. Yeah, we have a average 32 hours work week, and we have the seventh productivity in the world. So we work hard when we work. You could say
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
And then so you work hard when you work, but then when it's off time,
we
you
are
let it
off.
go. You're off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some people can do it better than others, of course. Yeah, but we should have the chance to lay off then, or to don't work. Yeah, yeah.
32 hours, I like that. Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
should.
and we got vacation as well. Then we have about depends on where you work and what arrangements you have, but average everybody would have 23 days a year vacation.
23.
23 working days. So
23
if you
working
count in
days.
the weekends, you could go away for a few weeks.
Oh
Each
yeah,
week. Yeah,
that's different. So I think
that's different.
you start off with 10 when you're
Yeah,
first starting off,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
that's a
Yeah, you have
difference.
to earn them. Yeah, and
Hmm.
this is 23 without all the holidays like Easter or Christmas. So that it adds up. So I think everybody could have about 25 days a year. Yeah,
That's impressive too.
yeah,
And with that, to me, in my opinion, if you knew you had that much vacation time, then to me, my productivity would go up. So, because you work hard because then you're rewarded with times that you can go and recharge and
yeah, yeah,
and go explore and those sort of things.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
If you now if you could go someplace, where would you go? I'm just curious now. 23 weeks, I would be all over the place, but where would you go?
What, a place in Holland or outside or what?
Outside, curious.
Outside. Where would I go now if I could?
If you could.
Oh, I would love to go to Patagonia.
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 Patagonia. Oh, where exactly
Argentina.
is that now?
Argentina.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I would love to go there. That's one of my wishes. I think people should not go to the South Pole. I think that would be reserved for animals, but closest you can get to there is to go to Patagonia and travel that beautiful wild country. I think that would be, I would love that very much. But I also would like to go to Canada and visit Sandy and do
Yes.
some camping trips over there. I would love to go. Oh yeah, I would take my bags tomorrow and the whole family with it, and then we go over and
I'm
celebrate
sure you
life.
love
Yeah, I
that.
think that would be the first choice. Yeah, I think we go to do that. Yeah, I think so.
I love that. I love that. Okay, and can we talk a little bit about so when I was in Amsterdam, I had the first thing I had to try was the Dutch pancake. I had to
Yeah.
have it. It was the first meal. I wouldn't eat anything else.
Hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about the traditional foods or the must-try foods of the Netherlands? Sorry.
Yeah,
For you?
pancake, but also stampot. You have heard that? That's mashed
No.
potatoes with all kinds of greens in it,
Oh,
like stampot with mashed potatoes with how do you call it? Kale,
okay.
or with endives. I don't know,
Oh, okay. Yes.
or with carrots and onions. So we cook it all
Mashed
together.
potatoes.
Mashed
Really?
potatoes with carrots and onions together, and then we cook it, and then we um, do the water off, and then we put some butter in, and then we mash it, and then we eat it. That's typically Dutch with some meat that go by it. We also eat Indonesian food because that used to be one of our um, colonies in
Yeah.
the earlier days. So that's also inherited.
What
Um,
would be Indonesian food, if you don't mind me asking?
like rice,
Oh, I see.
fried rice, and satay, and
I see.
other kinds of greens, woked food. That's also. But I think a lot of people eat. We don't. We eat very mixed. We eat very not many meat. A lot of people stop eating meat or eat less meat, are flex eaters, and but some eat potatoes, greens, and meat every day. Like that's how it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You said you see people are happy and children are happy in the Netherlands, which is true. And I did some research on that as well. Why is that people are happy and children are happy? One of the things is the breakfast we have together, and the fact that children play outside all the time. So our kids are, when they are at home, they play like I think 70% of the times outside.
Okay.
Um, and one thing also is that there is a when children are still young, there's open conversations about sex and about how not how to do it, but how to protect yourself. So our daughter is now 10, and she knows how the thing works, and
Okay.
that she has the right to say no. And it's not like we talk about it any time of every time, or we want her to know, but
Open
it's an
conversations.
open conversation, and it's also an open conversation at school.
Mm,
And this is why we have a low birth rates on teens. We don't have that. We have almost none, because they are prepared for that, and it makes people happy and secure and safe,
no, I appreciate that.
and not no diseases there also. That's nice to know. The upbringing of children is a big goal for the Dutch. I think that's a big tradition as well.
Yeah.
Educate them also in this
Educate
part.
them. Yeah, my mother was a nurse, and so we had to
Yeah,
have that conversation very,
right.
very early, even if it was with Play-Doh.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever
Whatever. You have to get it. Then you know what to do. You have
you
to
know,
get it.
then you
You
know
know what
what
to
to
do.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Doreen, we've come to the end of our time, and
Mm.
I have enjoyed every moment of our conversation. And I just wanted to know, is there any final thoughts or words that you'd like to share with us today?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I was really excited to be on your show, on your travels. I like to travel, and I travel. I don't travel either now in these days, like you. So it's nice to have a different talk and different questions. And I had to go back and do some research in my own culture. So thank you for that. And you learned me a lot to do this. I like it. I like it. I'm going to follow you on your channel, and yeah, thank you for that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I appreciate you and everyone there for watching, for subscribing, and for joining us on this journey. And so we end off by saying bedankt. That's thank you.
Graag gedaan.
Okay.
Thank you.
And goodbye. Tot ziens.
Bye bye, Timmy. Bye bye.
Goodbye, Dorien.